In Somalia's capital, Mogadishu, the sound of hammers has replaced the sound of bullets. A major business boom took hold there in 2012 as the city enjoyed its longest period of relative peace in 20 years.
We had to find out more about this story from our VOA East Africa correspondent Gabe Joselo. Alex Villarreal speaking with him via Skype in July.
Gabe, can you talk to us about this rebirth that Mogadishu is experiencing?
Mogadishu is experiencing the first prolonged period of relative peace in the last 20 years or so. This is ever since African Union forces and government-backed militias drove al-Shabaab militants out of the capital. And in that time, which has been about the last year or so, a lot of Somali businessmen have returned from abroad, and others have set up shop in areas of Mogadishu that were previously completely inaccessible because of the security situation.
Business is thriving at the Indian Ocean Star restaurant in Somalia's capital, Mogadishu. Unthinkable a year ago, today the restaurant is serving lobster and fresh fish to a clientele of well-to-do Somalis and expatriates. It is one of a few businesses springing up here in the Lido Beach neighborhood, an area left to ruin during 20 years of war and conflict. So as you drive through the streets of Mogadishu, you're seeing just new life everywhere, literally springing out of the ruins of buildings that were destroyed during all these years of conflict. And, you know, people are able to enjoy a somewhat normal life that they weren't able to enjoy before, going to cafes, going to the beach, you know, fancy restaurants have opened up. It's really just a 180-degree turn from the way it was about a year ago.
Where is all this money coming from that's fueling this growth? Is it from investors? Is it expatriates?
Yeah, it's mostly an expatriate community. I should say a Somali diaspora community. I mean, there's over 1 million Somalis who live abroad who left the country during the worst years of the conflict. Many of them live in the United States. Others live in Britain, Canada, all over the place, really. And some of the business owners that are coming back were businessmen in the countries that they had fled to.
Mohammed Harid Dage came back to Mogadishu from London, sensing opportunity.
We hope Somalis who are overseas, or wherever they are in this world, will come back. If everyone comes back, we can change things, and the young people of this country can be given jobs.
The guy who founded Somalia's first commercial bank was running check cashing businesses in Baltimore, Maryland, in the United States.
A lot of things called KYC, Know Your Customers.
And he had saved up enough money, and he saw another opportunity because there was a complete lack of private banks in the capital. So he came as well, and with just a little bit of startup money, was able to establish something.
And what's giving people confidence, these business owners who are coming and starting up, what's giving them confidence that al-Shabaab won't be returning to Mogadishu?
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, I think there's a couple of things. The first is that AMISOM, which is the African Union Force, have had greater success than they've ever had before against these militants. And in pushing them out of the capital was really a major victory that they weren't able to achieve for many, many years. Also, at the same time, al-Shabaab has lost a lot of support. They were initially backed because they were the one force that was fighting against Ethiopian invaders. But when the famine hit last year, the people of Somalia really turned against al-Shabaab because they were seen as hindering a lot of aid deliveries and really just generally being a hindrance to progress. At the same time, the businesses say that, by coming in and setting up businesses and improving the economy and giving jobs to youths who otherwise would have nothing else to do but join a militia, they're actually creating the conditions for a more sustained peace.
Now, Mogadishu, of course, was long referred to as the world's most dangerous city, and you still have the United Nations rating no area of the city lower than high risk. Is it still dangerous now?
Yes, it definitely is still a dangerous city. I wouldn't want to understate that. The city does feel safer than it was in August when I went there last. You know, we rely on knowledgeable security advisors who know the city and know the country very well, and we do travel with armed guards. The kind of threat that you're worried about is kidnapping, random sort of acts of violence. There have been grenade attacks targeting especially events that bring out the top Somali officials. The Prime Minister was targeted at an event at the National Theater. You know, you might be out in the street and the situation looks calm and safe, but it can turn very, very quickly.
That's Gabe Joselo, our VOA correspondent in Nairobi, talking with Alex Villarreal back in July.